Resolution for the study directed us to review various aspects of the Virginia Department of Health, including how well it manages its state and federal funds, its staffing, and its organizational structure. The resolution also directed us to review VDH's programs for improving the state's nursing pipeline. And we have information specifically on these programs in Appendix E. Slide 3 summarizes our team's primary research activities, which included over 100 interviews, 2 surveys, data analyses, and reviews of existing reports and other relevant documents. You can find more information about our methods in Appendix B of the report. We found that several major overlapping developments have created substantial operational challenges for VDH. VDH's numerous financial management problems have affected other organizations and required state intervention. And that VDH lacks sufficient qualified and well-trained staff, reliable and efficient systems, and effective internal controls to manage its finances. We also found that VDH has experienced considerable staffing challenges in recent years, and its protracted and inefficient hiring process prolongs vacancies in critical positions. VDH is overly reliant on contractors, which prevents it from developing a stable and knowledgeable workforce. And VDH staff are not consistently held accountable for their performance, increasing employee discontent and perpetuating a negative workplace culture. In the interest of time, I'll not cover all of our findings and recommendations, but if you have any questions about anything in the report, I'd be happy to answer them.
Well, thanks for the cheery start here.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. In this first section, I'd like to give you some high-level background on the Virginia Department of Health. VDH provides a wide variety of public health programs and services. For example, it's responsible for detecting and mitigating communicable diseases, administering health and nutrition programs, and inspecting restaurants and drinking water sources across the state. The commissioner also has powers related to public health emergencies, including the authority to order quarantines or treatments to protect public health. VDH's central office is responsible for supporting a complex statewide public health system. The agency delivers most of its public health services through its 32 health districts and 114 health departments. VDH has about 3,100 classified staff, and about 2/3 of these staff work within a health district or department. Similar to other states' public health agencies, VDH's budget is heavily reliant on federal funds. As shown on slide 9, the agency received an influx of federal funds following the COVID-19 pandemic. Before I turn to some of the key issues that we identified, it's important to note that VDH faced several challenges during the period preceding our study, which we considered when evaluating its operations and management. These challenges include the COVID-19 pandemic, a poorly timed and ultimately unsuccessful reorganization of critical administrative functions, and recurrent turnover in key agency leadership and management positions. VDH was experiencing these challenges while receiving and having to manage the significant influx of federal funds shown on slide 9. If you're interested, Chapter 2 provides more detail on each of these factors. It's also important to mention that VDH's current leaders and the administration have been transparent about the various problems that VDH is facing and have taken steps to begin to address them. These include increasing oversight of central office operations and budgets, creating new chief operating officer, chief financial officer, and controller positions, and adding financial management staff to program offices. Much remains to be done, though, and the recommendations in our report reflect improvements that are still needed to address the VDH's various financial management, staffing, and accountability issues. Mr. Chairman, I'll pause there in case there are any questions.
Any questions from the members? Yes, Delegate Wilt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So you listed in slide 11 the the new positions that have been taken on. Can you give us a timeline when those positions were created, and how does that fall within the timeline of your report?
Delegate Wilt, thanks for the question. So the Chief Operating Officer position was created in November 2022, and then Chief Financial Officer position and Controller positions were appointed earlier, or were created, are being hired right now. So within this current administration.
Any follow-up, Delegate Wilt? Okay. Anybody else? Please continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll now turn to some of our findings related to financial management at VDH. VDH is a large, financially complex agency with numerous funding streams and a high volume of financial transactions. In fiscal year 2024, VDH was responsible for managing about $1.3 billion in funding, including funding from 165 federal grants. 2 offices lead VDH's financial management activities, but many other staff and contract staff throughout the agency are involved. We found that in recent years, VDH has experienced numerous financial challenges, including fraudulent activity, overspending, late payments to vendors, its own staff, and other state agencies, poor management of federal grants, and late and inaccurate financial reporting.
Mr. Dickinson, let me ask you a question. On these federal grants, are these routine federal grants, many of them where they get the same grant every year? Or are these new, is this a new subject every year?
It's a little bit of both, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. So are we any better on the ones that we get every year? I mean, the ones that are routine, do we perform better on those than we do with the new ones?
Mr. Chairman, what I do know is that issues, particularly with EPA grants, which I'll cover here, are recurring issues that have been happening.
Even though we get this grant every year?
Even though the grant is continuous.
Okay, thank you.